Hey guys, I'm new at YTLife. My name's Urzaban. I'm a gaming YouTuber, and feel free to check out my main channel. Now, I'm new at YTLife, and I plan to mostly do how-to and gaming news videos. So let's get right into the news. So first up, if you were hyped for the last generation versions of Call of Duty Black Ops 3, don't be, because you're going to get a pretty fucking gimped version. Now, this isn't a rumor, this isn't coming from any other gaming website that's just talking about the game. This is straight from the source on Call of Duty's official website. Alright, now, let me quote this statement directly. Call of Duty Black Ops 3 is truly a next-generation experience, designed from day one to harness the full potential of the PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC. Black Ops 3 pushes the boundaries of the franchise to new levels across all modes of play on the next-generation hardware. As we announced back in June, we know that there are still fans willing to make the switch to the newest console hardware, and developers Beanox and Mercenaries Technology have been working tirelessly to bring as much of the Black Ops 3 gameplay as possible to the PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360. Now, this statement's basically them saying that they've been working hard on the last generation versions, but be ready for some cuts. So basically what you're going to lose on the PS3 and Xbox 360 versions is you're basically not going to get the campaign, and you're going to lose the gun, paint shop, and esports features, meaning that a little over a third of the game's content has just been up and removed off of the last gen versions. Now, the good thing is that they actually did cut the price a little bit, but I would have preferred a $20 cut rather than just a $10 cut, so you'd be paying $40 instead of $60, because if you're losing a third of the game's content, you should have to pay 1/3 less of the price. But in my opinion, I feel like this is the slap in the face that the last generation gamers really need to move on to the new consoles, because honestly, we've had the Xbox 360 for 10 years and the PS3 for 9 years almost. It's time to move on. And honestly, this version's probably going to be even more gimped with less of a frame rate on these versions, or not run as properly. So I'm not really surprised. I am really upset that the people who buy this version are losing a pretty good chunk of the game. But ultimately, it is the signature sign that we need to move on from the last generation. So in other news, Hitman was delayed into 2016, March 2016 to be a bit more specific. Now, apparently the main reason that they wanted to do this delay was to add on way more day one content to the game so they could have a better launch and basically have a tighter update plan. Now, for those of you that don't know, the new plan for the Hitman series is that they basically want to have a pretty good portion of the game come out, then just add the rest with updates. And I don't know how I feel about that specifically, but I'm glad that we are getting way more day one content than we would before. And they also talked about how these levels are going to take more time than all the other ones because they're so much bigger, and here's a little emagram that they've posted. So as you can see, the levels have gotten significantly bigger than what they've used to be. And I honestly hope that the game comes out really good, but I'm going to take it with a grain of salt because I don't know if I approve of the new plan or not. But that being said, it is good that we are getting way more day one content, though. Okay, well, the last little bit of gaming news that I have for you guys is that Konami's still committed to AAA game development and Metal Gear Solid. Yay. I hope. Now, this was backed in a recent interview between a GameSpot editor and a Konami dev. The article that I have here for you guys doesn't say the specific name, but it gives you almost everything else with the interview. Now, let's move on. This Konami dev basically came up here and said that the rumor of them planning to mostly leave the AAA gaming space was just a nonsensical rumor, and how they plan to do way more AAA games and just embrace way more mobile games too. Then the Konami dev went on to say how Metal Gear can live on without Kojima. That I personally disagree with, but we'll keep going. Then the interview went on to say how Metal Gear Solid's been Kojima's baby, and it'll be really tough for someone new to come in and steer the ship. Then the dev basically cited MGR, which was Metal Gear Rising, which was developed by Platinum Games, saying that a good Metal Gear game can be made without Kojima interacting with them on a day-to-day basis. Now note, they said they didn't have day-to-day involvement. They didn't say that he wasn't involved. They're just saying he wasn't involved with the team on a day-to-day basis. So he still could have had an overview or directed them in the right direction, but ultimately the game was made by Platinum Games. And then the rest of the article says how they basically have nothing but high hopes for the future, and how they love the past and they plan to do nothing but many more AAA games other than just PES 2016. So now, my personal opinion, if this were any other developer other than Konami, I would be relatively excited that they're still continuing AAA game development. The reason I'm not excited is because this is fucking Konami, and Konami seems to be a company that can do nothing but wrong in recent history. So in all actuality, I'm worried about Konami. continuing on with AAA games. I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt. Maybe they can do good with Metal Gear. Maybe they can make way more good AAA games again. But with that being said, I'm really doubtful of it. But I will give them the benefit of the doubt, and we're going to have to wait and see. But my personal opinion is, don't get your hopes up for this. Anyway, that's been the news. I look forward to seeing you guys next week, and feel free to leave me any feedback or opinions on what I've talked about here, and I look forward to seeing you all next week.